Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're finally installing all the Jowua accessories. As we go through the videos, or as we go through each of the accessories, if it is replacing anything that I've currently got in the car, I'll do a quick review or a recap on how the items have held up over the past couple of months. So let's jump straight into it. Alright, so the first accessory here is this front tray. So that's the one that's just near the cup holders. So slide that up. So this is the one that I previously purchased from AliExpress. So the felt version. Hold up closer, you can see I've had some lollies and snacks here over the past couple of months, so it is a bit dusty, but it definitely isn't something that is waterproof, and yeah, made of hard plastic. So that's it there. You can see it comes pretty much up to the line over here, so when you push that through, you have access straight down through to the bottom. You don't have any access through here unless you can squeeze your fingers through here. What we are installing is this new one over here. So if I take this out for comparison, hopefully you can see that in the camera lining up. So definitely a lot brighter with this grey colour over here, and the compartments are, I guess, slightly different. There's one big one here, two smaller ones. There's one really big one here, and then two smaller ones, but again, this one here is for your cards. So if that's something you prefer, then that one's for you. Otherwise, this one here is, I guess, a bit more of the rubbery feel that I said in my last video. And yeah, so we'll put this one in. It definitely sits a lot lower. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll take a photo and I'll put it up on the screen. This one here definitely sits lower than this one. So what that means is in terms of the depth available within each one, you definitely can put a bit more there. And this one has this gap over here as well, to put the hub, which I'll show you a bit later. So the next one we've got here is this Jowua USB-C hub. So two USB-A ports here. This is supposedly a light. Then you've got the I think this is the light button. Then you've got two USB-Cs and then another USB-A port. And then yeah, you've got here USB hub with LED lights for Tesla. And let's get this in. So this one should line up with the USB-C ports that are two down here. So we'll see how we go. Yeah, it fits pretty snug. It did take me a while to get it in, to line it up. So if you do get this, I highly recommend lining it up over here, shining a torch just here straight down so that you can see where the pins line up, so you can put it straight in. And yeah, so that goes perfect in hand with this here that I just showed earlier. It's already got the cutout over here, so it's a perfect fit. So when you close it, that's it there, and then when you open it, that's it there. And then with these two bits that hold it over here, or even through here, that's where you can kind of push that through, and then you can access the area underneath. And this is also a light, so if you just click that once, you can see that it's turned on, turn off. So that helps with anything else you need there. And then if you pull that up, because this is kind of a bit see-through, you can kind of see that light shine through, so it does help a bit at night. And so from what I've seen, that's the USB-C with power delivery, that's the USB-C, USB-A there, and then there's two more USB-A ports down there. So that's it there. And then just for context, if you guys do not buy this one here and you just have that there, again, you've still got heaps of space through there. However, if you do have another tray that isn't through Jowua, unfortunately that hits there and you actually can't get it in because that hub will be in the way. So it looks like we will be using this for a while, and I'll keep you guys updated in terms of how this goes. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments below, but let's move on to the next accessory. Okay, so the next one we'll look at is the cup holders. We'll just look at it for the front. So these ones I've had previously, that we worked out to be ashtray. Now, am I a big fan of this one? Not in particular. Main reason why is because the useless ashtray component here, even if you remove that, still has that gap there, and really I can't work out what I'd personally be using it for. I am a non-smoker. The bottle holder over here, so that one there, 750ml bottle, if I put into here, you'll see it is extremely tight, and it also pushes this side out. So that means that this side is a lot smaller, and same thing if I put on this side, that side is a lot smaller. So that kind of isn't too useful for me. If I take that out, that actually is a perfect fit, just for context. So there you are, that's that one. Now what we want to look at, on the website this actually said it was for the rear seats, but having a quick look, that actually looks like it sits straight in, and it looks like it's a perfect fit on for the front as well. So we'll try the back in a moment. That also there, the high and the low. So, and that sits pretty snug there. So you'd have no issues putting coffee using that high and low bit there. But let's get that insert out, and we'll do the bottle test again. So bottle test fits a lot better. If you do end up putting your drink bottle there though, you can see, if I'm moving it, you can see it flex as well. So chances are if I lift this up, it's probably going to lift half of it up, as you can see there. But it definitely fits bigger bottles better. There you go. And it also takes it out too at the same time. Nonetheless, it still holds pretty well, and we'll do a quick comparison with the old and the new. There you go. That's the two of them. They look somewhat similar. There's more grooves in this one to hold it down. And then in terms of size, if I hold these two up together against each other, sort of like that, it does look like the Jowua one is slightly bigger. So there you go. That's the cup holders. We'll put that in the back and we'll have a look at that as well. So here's the rear cup holders. Here is the same insert. I'll get this out to begin with. There you go. So for the rear, this actually sticks out a fair bit in order to fit your cup. So it definitely fits, but it just sticks out. So it probably holds your cup better, or it holds it up at a higher amount, because these ones here are actually quite shallow. You can also just put this one straight here if you'd like as well. That also fits, if you want to fit anything else there. So there you go. Alright, so now we have the AirPods Pro or AirPods 2 charger. So AirPods Pro, I guess you put it on there and it should start charging. There you are. Or you could also potentially put it on, I guess like that as well, if you need for whatever reason. And then if you flip it to the other side, even though it says AirPods 2, these are AirPods Pro, you put it like that, that should still also charge, and also in that unique shape there as well. So yeah, nice little stand, and I guess it just helps to keep you charged if you are always on the move, because if you put it here, that's never going to charge unless you can somehow hold it somewhere about there. So the next one here is this tray here, and as you can see, haven't really used it too much, so it's held up fairly well. We've got the Jowua one here that we're about to put in, so a bit of a thick rubber silicone type, so that should just drop in. There you go, perfect fitment, and also to use with this accessory, so the automated light. So you'll see here micro USB on, auto and off. Also comes with a charge cable, so close that and then open it, and there you go. So it should auto turn off, I think in 30 seconds or a minute or something like that. So the next thing we have here is the 6D Jowua Magsafe stand. So this goes next to the screen just over here, and that essentially allows you to hook up your phone and then use whatever you need. So if you like the any functions like using Waze or anything else on your phone, then this is it for you. So let's have a look. Now over here, we'll essentially need to move our tissue box, and we'll have to mount it somewhere over here, and yeah, I'll get it done and I'll start the video again in a sec. Okay, that probably lines that up perfectly. So over here, just take that off, and then it's a suction mount. So what I'd say is expand all of that all the way around, so then it looks something like this, and then this looks like we need to open that. So this is a sticky pad. Now, to play it safe, what I would do is put your phone on, and then that way you know roughly where you want to stick it. So I'd say mine's got to be somewhere around here. So stick that on there, and then close the clip, and that seems pretty sturdy. So that allows me to look at it like this, and you could move that in to make it tight if you want, and supposedly you could also turn this up here or further down. So the one thing I didn't consider actually is look at how far I can flex around, because now mine actually only comes out here and I can't actually have it on top of the car all the way around. So from a Magsafe side of things you can, but if you want to move it closer you'd probably need to adjust it. So that's already one revision for us. So I need to push that in. Right, that's better. So that's that. I'll take a photo from the front and then let's sort out the charging side of things. Alright, so there's a cable point here, or sorry, there's a plug here. We'll need to run it through there, somehow down here, and then it says I think to run it underneath this trim, I think it is potentially, it says to tuck it in. That runs all the way back here and then into the USB-C port. So we'll give that a go. So here's what it comes with: 4 clips and a really long cable with a L-shaped adapter at the end. Okay, so here's the final. So USB-C cable here. I've put a couple of the pin connectors here, or the cable clips. It's run through down over here. I'll just grab the torch. So down here it goes there, and then you can see it's run through there. I've left a little loop just over there, and then as you run through here it's all tucked in underneath over here, and then there's the cable right there. So no additional slack, we've just got the little loop over there, that's the additional, and yeah, all good to go. Alright, so we're in the front passenger seat here. So these are the previous storage boxes or storage trays that we had. You can see over here that they sit just next to the rail, so they are slide in, slide out, and you can store quite a fair bit of stuff in them. This is the new replacement, so you can see there is quite a difference in size. This one is definitely bigger, and it is wider, so that actually sits on the tracks. This one looks like it potentially doesn't, but it does turn into a bucket. So if we look at that, let's put that in. So that actually sits in just right behind here, actually firm fit right there, and you still have some space. Perfect for your controllers. And the good thing about this is these ones also, I'll move the controllers out of the way, they also do have this silicone piece of material for protection, for grip, whatever you want to call it. And then when you expand it, that's the size difference we're talking about. So heaps of space. So we'll give that a go and we'll see how that holds up over the next couple of months. Okay, so this is the Jowua tissue box or storage box holder that's supposed to go just down over here. So let's have a look, see if it fits. This is a standard Australian size tissue box from Aldi. Let's pull this up. What we got here, that's I guess the storage plate, so let's flip that out. Okay, so let's have a look. Moment of truth, see if it fits. Might need to squeeze it in. Alright, so there you go guys, it does not fit a standard size tissue box unless you squeeze it in pretty tight. So let's have a look. Nope, it does not fit this one here, so we will have to spend money on another tissue box to see which ones it fits. So there you go. That's a standard Aldi tissue box. That does not fit there, but it still fits on our one at the front behind the screen over there. So what we'll use this one for then is turn it into a storage box. So as you can see, that bit's there. So what we'll do is we'll use this plate to block it off. So the felt side is this side is more of the leathery type feel. So just drop that in. There you go. And then that's a storage box. So that there, once it's down, so you just drop it off there and then it turns into a storage box. So if I hold that there, you'll see that it's all covered off, and then we'll put this plate on the back and we'll see how much it lifts it up by and see how well it holds there. Okay, so I've had a storage bin over here that I clearly have not really used, but I'll pull that out of the way and we'll put that there, and then we'll put, I presume this goes on Velcro somehow. Let's just try, maybe stick that there, and there. So that's pretty sturdy there. And then let's put that there. So there's your storage holder. And then if it was a tissue box, you've still got your gap and your storage underneath, which you can see there. And you can grab tissues. So I've got a real tissue box, assuming we find one that fits, so that you can reach your arm around and you can grab it. So that works fairly well, except we don't have the right tissue box yet, so watch this space. Alright, the next thing we have is the Magsafe tissue box holder. So this is supposed to fold up, hold your tissue box there, and as you can see, the Magsafe there. So there you go, magnet. So again, and let's see how we go doing this one-handed. Standard Aldi tissue box. Alright, maybe it's just me, but I am struggling to fit this on. So I'll hold that back up. So we've got one side on. You can see it's almost like when you eat too much or you grow the neck size up on your belt, and it's really trying to pull that out and escape, because over here you can see the lines on this side now don't match up. So you can see clearly that the tissue box is a bit crushed there, just so I could make this fit, and because that's pulled that across, the line for your tissue box is now over here where your tissue box is actually there. So what that means is if I try and pull this up, we're not going to fit. So we need to move one size down in the tissue box. So maybe the problem is the tissue boxes that I'm using. So we'll have to try another tissue box, and yeah, watch this space. But Aldi tissue boxes, it's a definite no-go. It does not fit. Alright, so one items we've got for review is the Magsafe holder for tissue box, or I guess for phones, on the back of your headrest. So whilst you can't see it here, or it's not adjustable, there's actually two hooks or two poles or whatever you want to call it across each side, in which that will hook across. So the installation instructions really are: poke one side in, pull it all the way to the left and you'll feel it hook there, then push it a bit further, push the right side in. It's a bit hard to do it with one hand actually. Okay, there we go. So that's it there. You can see me pulling that, and that's fairly firm. Then you can obviously put your phone on there, and that should hold, or this tissue box holder that, you know, at the moment it doesn't fit, but with the Magsafe, that goes there. And you know, assuming it was like that, you should be able to just pull the tissue from the side, see how easy that goes. But once we get a proper tissue box, we'll put this on again and we'll see how we go. Otherwise, it's probably going to be best used for holding a phone or a device of some sort that's MagSafe, so you guys can use it for your kids or anyone in the back seats. Alright, one of the last items we have, the Jowua tray, stand, desk, whatever you want to call it. You see people eating food on it. My demonstration to you guys today is not eating food, but with a variety of devices. Being able to work in the car is such a privilege these days, and obviously editing videos for you guys out there, figured this would be a perfect test. So, easy entry mode. I've got my seat pushed all the way back, as you can hear in the click. I'll push it down all the way as well, so it gives me the most room. Also because I've got a belly. Let's fold this out. So down here you can see the rubber mounts over there on this side and also on that side there, and nothing else, though this hook up here is probably for this bit over here. So that sits on there. Now, steering wheel you probably got to have right center, because it is a little bit flatter down here, which may obstruct with that bit there. You can't push it all the way through, or else it does start to dip down like that. Having it here probably lines up right well with my belly. Now, in terms of space-wise, I think it's pretty good. You can obviously adjust this through your steering if you want. Now, for argument's sakes, I have a 13-inch HP laptop over here, so you guys can see that's still how much space there is. If I put here my mobile phone, you know, that kind of gives you indication of how much. Oh, just realized you can't see it on this side. I'll put it on this side. It's probably the same space on that side as well. But you can see there's still a fair bit of space that you've got here. And because you are leaning on it here, it feels really, really sturdy. So in terms of space, if it's a 13-inch laptop, it's probably almost the size or the width of the steering wheel. That's to give you guys the context there to how much space it is here. And then the space that you've got onto the right-hand side, I've got an iPhone 14 Pro Max. To the right-hand side, it sits horizontally. That's the amount of space there. On the left-hand side, which you just can't see, is out of the vision there, but that's about the same as well. So basically, a 13-inch plus two phones on the sides of that. That's probably the width of all of that. If you really can't put it into perspective, then I guess the only other way I can kind of explain it is if you put your arm on your arm rest and you put your other arm on the little armrest over here, that's pretty much the exact width of the table stand. So you can see that's the amount of space. I'll see if I can move my camera down just to show you guys a bit more. That's there. I'll cut my head out of that so you guys can see that. So that's essentially it. And so with this one here, with the 13-inch laptop, or 13.3-inch potentially, I'll take a photo, I'll overlay it on so you guys can see how much space you have. From an eye level side of things, I think it actually works quite well. It's really easy to see. I've lowered myself in the seat so it's quite comfortable. Probably almost no back seat space though, because don't forget I have actually pushed my seat all the way to the back. Now, I've got more goodies here. So that was 13-inch, but what if you've got something bigger? So here is a 16-inch MacBook. So that, in terms of size, is probably, if I put my fingers at the end of the steering wheel, it probably is just a little bit, the screen itself is a little bit bigger. So if you need to imagine how big this 16-inch MacBook is, that's probably it, just a bit bigger than your steering wheel. And again, it's almost 2 phones on each side, but I will take a photo of it and I will show you guys as well, just so you can compare with the 13. So in terms of durability, yeah, look, I think with all the hinges on there, it does work pretty well. Can I see it falling? No, absolutely not. So if I put this laptop away, even if I push on the front over here, you can see it does potentially bend, and it can come down, but it's not going to just fold for whatever reason. And most likely with these curves over here, you're most likely putting your armrest or your arms on there anyway, which there is a rubber mat underneath, so it will actually hold it pretty steadily. The downside, even though you see a lot of pictures and videos and whatnot of people eating, there's no cup holder or anything here, so you're obviously going to have to use your own down here. However, I say however, because if I turn the camera further down, yeah, hopefully you can see here, this cup holder here on the right hand side is actually blocked off by this. So if you do have a drink, or you've got a, I guess, coffee, anything that's higher than, I'd say, just a couple of centimeters from the cup over here, this is going to get hit. So you're most likely going to have to use just this one other cup holder here. So just a word of warning. But yeah, other than that, I reckon this is perfect snack tray. It's good size, could turn on Netflix, watch YouTube, whatever it is that you want to do. For the people on the road, this must be absolute must-have. I would definitely say. It's really helpful. It's really useful. Storing it away is only going to be the annoying thing, but you know what? Something minimal that you can just keep away, whether in your boot or your frunk or whatever it is, and pull it out whenever you need. But yeah, definitely got my tick of approval. Alright, glass roof sunshade. So let's have a look at how to install this. Scan the QR code and let's see what's next. Okay, so it seems fairly straightforward. Use the pry bar to open a small gap in between the interior trim and the glass roof. Install the sunshade clips into the gap. Install them at the suggested locations. Make sure the tag locates at the upper left, the side up icon faces up, the Jowua logo faces the car interior. Install the sunshade frame into all clips, and then to fold it into butterfly shape and so forth. Alright, so let's have a look, and there's also a video here, so we'll play that in a moment and we'll see how we go. Okay, so it sounds simple enough. We've got all of the clips here. Got our pry tool. And then I'll look on my phone. I'll put a picture up of what they are suggesting in terms of the installation location. But it says here 2 on the front. So these clips seem fairly loose when you do it, but I'll record a close-up in a sec. I do wonder if that's actually how it's supposed to be, because they do fit in. Come with me, let's have a look. So you can see here, free movement. And then same with this side. We've clicked it on, free movement. hopefully that doesn't rattle. We'll see how it goes. Alright, let's finish up doing the rest of it, and we'll come back and see how it goes. Alright, so we've installed the clips all around. And yeah, I will put a picture or a wide angle of all of this, and yeah, seems to be a pretty good fitment. This is in the middle, there's no clips holding on here, so we'll see how we go over the next couple of weeks, and I'll post another update on what I think. Alright guys, that wraps up for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed all the content. Plenty more videos to come. Like and subscribe for more content, and if you got any questions about anything that I've just reviewed, drop it in the comment box below and I'll chat to you there. Thanks guys, and we'll see you soon.